Hey, everybody. Welcome,
Hey, everyone.
welcome. Oh, my
Got some
goodness.
friends
We
with us
have,
tonight, some honored guests.
wow. I cannot tell
Why?
you how.
Who's coming?
Hoist the colors, ladies first. We have Kelly of the Mickey Bunch in tonight. I'm so pleased to have you here, Kelly. Kelly is here primarily to pull the rest of us down off the ceiling for our topic tonight. And she's, so that's, yeah.
Yo ho! I'm up to the task. I'm up to the task.
I know you are. I have full confidence. James Ryan, the incomparable James Ryan, is not in the chat tonight, guys. He is on our screen. He's here with us. I'm so thrilled, James, that you decided to pop in.
Oh, it's my pleasure.
We're going to just have a great discussion. Let me cover this day in Disney history right quick. I just have one thing, and I'm going to say hello to the chat right quick before I do that. Let's see who is first. Who is in first? Francisco. Hey, welcome in. It's always so good to see you. Adventures by D. Hi, hey guys. I have been watching Adventures by D's videos this week. I am so enjoying catching up. Check out their channel.
Aren't they great?
I love them. They're kind of newish to me. I know they're not a new channel, but I'm obsessed with them. So Adventures by D, amazing.
Yeah,
it's always fun to come across another good one because you have all their content that you can select from and go check out. So it's always fun to come across.
I'm just kind of working the list, guys. I'm going through. Great, a lot of Six Flags content. Love the Dollywood videos. So I'm enjoying it. Y'all check out their channel. Dean, a turkey legs having a gobble-tastic Tuesday. James Ryan is also in the chat tonight.
That guy's everywhere.
He is. He's everywhere.
He's like COVID. He just spreads.
I love it. Well, no, we don't think of you as COVID, James. We not even remotely.
Not.
It is so nice to have you guys. Debbie, hey, Debbie Burnfield is also in the chat. Alex, it's good to see you.
We have a lot of people.
Welcome. Downscale. Welcome in. So great to see you, Ford Band, aka Kenneth Oakes. Thanks so much for being here, Kenneth. It's great to see you. Mike Wheeler. Yes, Ghost Host Moderator Extraordinaire. And let's see, who else do we have here? Debbie. Yes. Diz Our Dream. Welcome in, Jeff.
Hey, Jeff and Angela.
Good to see you, Jeff and Angela. So great to see you. And AJC Magic TV. Amy.
Hello,
AJC
Amy.
Magic TV.
Great to see you, Amy.
Good to see you. And Danielle. So I just got off a stream with Danielle. So it's great to see y'all. And let's see who else we've got here. I think that's everybody in chat.
We got more sunshine, please. Jim's up there, and
Michelle. Did I see Jim? Did I miss Jim? Oh, Michelle the Quilter.
He said
welcome, Jillian. Hey,
hi, Jillian.
More sunshine. Okay, Jim. The reason I asked in your chat about your address, let me know when you get the new P.O. box, because I have some mail for you and I sent it to you and it came back. So, and it's good stuff. You're going to love it because it's Hitchhiking Bones gear. So,
I think Jim is using my P.O. box now since it's good stuff. And, we'll see. Right, Jim?
Well,
right?
I will send stuff to your P.O. box then. Sebastian the Crab. Thanks so much for being here, everybody. It's great to see everybody. Yes. And we have, you all know from the thumbnail what we're going to be discussing. What is on everybody's minds. There was a and just as a disclaimer, I would like to say that I have my Genie plush here. We are in no way disparaging our beloved Genie. So just a disclaimer, we have our Genies. We're talking, of course, about Disney's new Genie and Genie Plus program. We're going to talk about that. We're going to go through it. There's so many people who have asked me questions about it and said, Dawn, what's going on? We have people ask us about Disney all the time because they know that we're those crazy Disney people. Before we go any further, I am sorry, guys. I have left out a very important guest tonight. Kelly is hopelessly outnumbered. Tina!
Hey, Tina! Yay!
Tina McNeil, welcome.
I see what you're doing. You're bringing in the big guns now. You're bringing Tina and McNeil in here. I don't have a chance.
I figured for solidarity, how
I'm
can
sorry,
you go wrong
but you
with
need
James
to
and Tina?
explain it all to me until I like it, Kelly.
That'll take some time.
Well, we're going to go over it, guys. We're going to talk about it and cover it and try to answer some questions, discuss it. It hasn't gone into effect yet. There are a lot of questions still. So we're going to talk about it. I'm going to go over. Welcome, everybody. We are delighted to have you. Let me go over quickly this day in Disney history. And this is the only thing that I found in Disney history today. But this is kind of a fun one for me because it gave me some information that I didn't know about. 1916, voice artist, writer, and actor Hal Smith, the second voice of Goofy, is born in Petoskey, Michigan. His vast Disney voice credits include Philippe the horse in Beauty and the Beast, Owl in the Winnie the Pooh shorts and feature films, Goofy in countless TV cartoons, and Saint Peter in the series Darkwing Duck. Okay. Now, question: do y'all know who Hal Smith is? What his other big credit is? Does anybody watch Andy Griffith?
No, I do. I used to.
Okay. Do you know who Hal Smith is? He's Otis.
Otis the Town Drunk?
Oh, really?
Really?
Oh, Town Drunk. I love it. That makes sense.
Great?
That makes perfect sense.
Wow.
Is that great? I mean, when you make those connections, it's like, Otis, he is Otis, the Town Drunk, beloved character in Andy Griffith. I was just thrilled to read this. This was just such cool information for me. St. Peter in Darkwing Duck. He played Owl in Winnie the Pooh, voiced Goofy. So
did Bill Farmer follow him up then? Because I know Bill Farmer's voiced Goofy for a long, long time now.
He did. I think Hal Smith may have followed Farmer. We'd have to look to see who followed whom, but yeah. So I was, because I absolutely love Otis, the character of Otis. And also the other person who was in Andy Griffith and voiced Gopher in Winnie the Pooh was the guy who played, and I can't remember his name. I should have looked him up. He played, the crazy guy that Barney was always calling a nut, and his name escapes me. He voiced Gopher in this, so he did a lot of. What was his name in the series?
Talking about, but I can't think.
I should know it. It'll come to us.
The funny thing is I was just watching Andy Griffith earlier today because my husband watches it all the time.
Does anybody in the chat know who that is? Y'all help us out. Okay, Sebastian says a Farmer is current. So Hal Smith was absolutely apparently before Farmer.
Farmer would have been Goofy
Ernest T. Bass
in my lifetime.
Yes.
Ernest T. Bass.
Yes.
Ernest T. Bass voiced Gopher. The same voice actor voiced Gopher in.
Here we go, brownies. Hey, Ryan.
Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh. So, at any rate,
which character
Captain
was it
Akron
from Darkwing Duck Mom that they voiced?
Hey, Cap.
Downscale was asking.
Oh, Downscale. Let's see. Was asking from Darkwing. He voiced Saint Peter. Okay. I don't remember that character.
Yeah, I don't either. It's been so long.
I don't remember that character, but I thought that was so cool. I love to make those connections.
Welcome in, Garrett. Take it easy.
It would have been Ernest T. Bass was voiced Gopher. And when you think about both voices, Gopher's voice and Ernest T's voice, it totally, connects there. It's
Yes.
yeah,
it does.
yeah, very talented. The guy who played, and somebody may have to look it up for us, the guy who played Ernest T. Bass in Andy Griffith, such a talented actor. Oh, wow. Amazing actor. So, Debbie, did I say hi to you? Good to see you. Okay, so I think we ought to jump right in.
Let's do it.
Boom.
William, did I send you the script for tonight?
Good question. I was just about to look at that.
Okay. If I didn't, I'll try to do it.
First of all, can I say I'm impressed that you have a script for your
Yeah. Yeah, freaky, right?
Mom is
I know.
already on top of me.
Wow.
We have a script.
I should be doing
Script? What's a script?
If
prepare. What?
William,
It's more like guidelines.
it's more like
Oh, yeah.
guidelines anyway. Yeah. It is more like and William, I think I forgot to send it to you. Let me.
I don't see it in the inbox.
Let's
But
see.
yeah.
It's, okay, William, you take it for a second. Let me send it to you. You're gonna need it, believe me.
Okay.
It's okay,
Alrighty.
Alex. I promise. Alex, don't be sad. It's okay.
No, be sad. Be very sad.
Don't be
Oh,
sad.
no.
Be happy.
It doesn't make me
That's
sad. It makes me angry.
Okay,
Keep
That's
cranking
let,
it
me
why I
go,
need Ellie, because I'm like,
let me go over
So,
here,
James,
guys.
Go off the
basically, you're
rails.
going to
Yeah,
pass
well.
him the tissues or what?
Welcome in, Jane and Travis. Great to see you.
J&N,
Hey,
good New
J&N.
Hampshire people. Hi.
Let me send this right
I was
quick
going to say,
over to
wow, Will, that's fast. I hadn't seen come in yet.
I did a lot of preparation for tonight, guys. I did a lot of, a lot of reading, watched several videos, and to try and get as much information as I could. And Kelly, you may have more information even than I have on this topic.
Me too, Jeff. I feel exactly the same way.
That's it.
Keeps
That's
people like
it.
Walt out. The thing is it's not going to keep people like Walt out.
Big
It may keep
bucks.
people like me out, but it won't keep people like Walt out.
It's a patrician party. We don't need those plebeians running around Disney. Huh?
Oh,
Welcome in, Space Mountain Dave Cantrell.
Hey,
let's
Dave.
see here.
Yes.
Make sure I
Ernest
got
T.
it
Bass was played by
sent.
Howard Morris.
Okay, William, you should have that shortly.
All right.
You should have that shortly.
Thank you.
Okay. Let me cover what I know quickly about Genie and Genie Plus. I'll just kind of run through it quickly and kind of get it in.
Good luck with that. I didn't get into the first bullet.
And everybody's like, well, I'll tell you what I did, guys. And there's some good resources out there. I watched DFB Guide. They did a really, really good video on it. Yes, that was kind of step by step. And I went to the Disney website and got, information from there. So there are some places that you can go if you're wondering about it, if you're confused about it, especially if you're planning a trip, guys. This is information that you really do need. Okay, I'm going to go over this just quickly. Reactions to this have been overwhelmingly negative. I will just have to say.
For Disney Worlders. Let's be very...
Yes, mostly Disney Worlders. 3 videos up on the Disney Parks YouTube channel, which is another place you can go. They have 3 videos on it. They have 75% thumbs down on this and some pretty negative comments.
I hate to interrupt you, Dawn, but can I ask a question?
Yes.
Kelly, how do we know that they were Disney Worlders? Are they?
Well, I'm
are
just saying from the buzz out there on social media,
Okay,
and
all right.
I'm in a lot
Okay.
of groups with Disneylanders and Disney Worlders, and it's
Mhm.
overwhelmingly the Disney
I'm
Worlders
too.
that are upset. But I think it's just not to interrupt, but I think a lot of it is they haven't had a system like this before, so it's the unknown.
Yeah, the Disneylanders
Into the
surrendered many years ago.
unknown.
Pure
Well,
garbage.
Max Pass, the Disneylanders, guys, this is real similar to Max Pass, which has been Disneylanders have been using for how many years, Kelly?
I would say about 5.
About 5. Okay. See, when Jeff and I went in 2019, when we went to Disneyland, and thank God we went in 2019 before the blip happened.
Yeah.
We used Max Pass a couple of days while we were there. And then the third day, we were there the week that Galaxy's Edge opened. And we knew we were going to be over there for majority of the day. So we did not buy Max Pass for that day. But we did buy. But it also included our pictures for the day.
Yes.
Which is a big thing. Okay.
It is a big plus in that case.
So keep going.
It is
Hit
a
us
big
with the info.
Coming this fall, this is the big announcement, guys. Disney Genie and Genie Plus is a free planning service to help guests plan their ideal day. This is Genie. Okay. Genie is a planning service. It is integrated into the My Disney Experience, the Walt Disney World app, and will be also included in the Disneyland app. And it helps you to plan your day. It asks about your likes and dislikes, your favorite rides. It kind of gives you suggestions on what to do during the day. So that's Disney Genie. It is free. The apps, Disneyland app and Disney World apps, are free to download. If you don't have them already, you do need those. Genie Plus is the second piece to this puzzle, and it is the one that has everybody up at arms. Let me go over what I understand from all the things that I've read about Genie Plus. You can, this is what is replacing the Fast Pass that we have had free for years and years and years at Walt Disney World. You bypass the standby lines at select attractions by paying a base price. This is a paid service that is replacing a free service. It is $15 per guest per day at Walt Disney World, and it will be $20 per guest per day at Disneyland. Number 2, paying for access to the Fast Pass lanes. The Fast Pass lanes are now called Lightning lanes. So you're paying for access to those Lightning lanes, formerly Fast Pass. Select return times for the rides. You get one ride at a time, and basically, when you go into the park, you can pay for it in advance. But when you go into the park, you can get a Fast Pass for one ride at a time. You ride that ride, you go back in and get another one. You ride that ride, you go back in and get another one ad infinitum till the day ends, as many as you can get. So it's not limited on the number that you can have. It can be used in all 4 parks with a park hopper ticket. I'm speaking primarily of Walt Disney World here, but in both parks in Disneyland as well. Disney, this is all because Disney, they say they got a bunch of feedback from guests who didn't like planning their Fast Passes 60 days out or 30 days out. They wanted to be more spontaneous in the parks. And so they say they got a lot of feedback on that. That's not William and me at all. Continuing on, attractions in the base price have not been announced yet. So when you pay the $15 or $20 base price, now that's per guest per day, keep in mind. So this thing can really add up.
Well,
those
per ticket,
cover
yes. Under
yes,
2
per
year olds,
ticket.
if they don't have to buy a ticket, then they don't have to buy
per ticket, exactly. So there will be attractions in that are included in that. And those that list has not been announced yet, but it may include Big Thunder, Smuggler's Run, Haunted Mansion. It will include, Disney says, at least 15 attractions at Disneyland and 40 attractions at Walt Disney World. Now, we don't know which attractions yet. You can purchase Genie Plus in advance, but you do have to wait until midnight the day that you're going in to pick your first ride. So that's the extras in that. In Genie Plus, when you pay that fee for Walt Disney World, it's again $20 per ticket per day, $15 or vice versa, $15 per ticket per day at Walt Disney World, $20 per ticket per day at Disneyland. It will include at Disneyland. It will include your PhotoPass pictures for the day. So that's good. That's a good thing. Not at Walt Disney World. At Walt Disney World, what you get is augmented reality lenses. And so basically what that is when you take your own picture, like say I take a picture, I can put Mickey on my shoulder, looking over my shoulder. I can put a character in my own pictures.
It looks the same as the Snapchat filter for
yes,
those.
Exactly the same. Exactly the same. And at both part, all the
like literally the animation that Minnie was making in the video that Disney released is the exact same, like head turning, like head bobbing, like hands on your shoulder type pose that the Mickey Snapchat filter used.
Same thing. So at Walt Disney World, you get that instead of your PhotoPass pictures for the day. So that's kind of a big one for me. You also get some special audio experiences, and nobody knows what that means yet. So, okay, now there's another piece. There's one more piece.
They pitched that to make it sound like it would tell you like information.
Because there's 3 levels, right?
About the attractions.
And then lightning.
Yes. Now the other level, they don't really have a name for. It's payment. It's a paid situation where you just pay for individual attractions. And they don't have an official name for it. This was introduced at Disneyland Paris, and it is another upcharge. Now, you don't have to buy Genie Plus for this, but basically what this is for the top tier rides, the most popular rides. We're talking about Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, Remy's Ratatouille Adventure when it opens, Rise of the Resistance, Radiator Springs Racers, Web Slingers at Disneyland. You will pay per ride. You can make 2 selections per day. They have not announced how much they will be, but I know at Disneyland Paris, they said these can be as much as $50 for one ride.
They did say it's a sliding scale, dependent on how busy.
I think it'll be based on the date. Who else wants it, and the popularity of the ride, and
it is.
It's
called
individual
surge,
day it'll have
pricing. Yeah,
it's called surge
pricing.
Sliding scale reminds me of different levels of larceny. Just saying.
Well, just as the ticket prices have different prices on certain days.
Yes. What is it?
So, for example, right. So, for example, if you want to ride Rise of the Resistance on Christmas Day, it's going to cost you a lot of money. It'll cost you more than if you wanted to ride, say, Seven Dwarfs Mine Train on a random day.
Not to say that you
July.
could not ride Rise of the Resistance on Christmas morning by getting the free virtual queue. Now it's going to be busy, and
fingers crossed.
Everybody's going to get it. But
I think this is going to make those boarding passes
guaranteed it that I have to ride it on Christmas Day.
Yeah, and I think there's going to be even fewer boarding passes, which is the problem. I'm sorry, Dawn. Go ahead. I know you're trying to get through this, and poor Kelly, we never let her get through it the other night. So I was down and determined I wasn't going to do that to you too.
Everybody's read it. Everybody's seen it.
Yeah. The virtual queues will continue for Rise of the Resistance. So that's still going to be in place. And there will also be a virtual queue for Remy's Ratatouille Adventure. So that's that. Those will continue. You can pay for those popular attractions that pay to play for the top tier rides. You can do that and not have to buy Genie Plus. You don't have to buy Genie Plus and then pay extra for the rides. So that's a good thing. Pass holders, okay, no mention at this point of any special access for pass holders.
Welcome in, Value Project. Great to see y'all.
Oh, hey, Ed and Mindy. And also, if you're staying at a Walt Disney World resort, I think you can go in a little earlier to maybe. Now, here's what I heard two different things on that. If you're staying at a Walt Disney World resort, that you didn't have to wait until you got into the park. You could make it at 7:00 from your resort.
I believe that any resort stay on property at Walt Disney World, that you can make it from your room as early as 7 a.m.
Because nothing says vacation like rolling out at 7 a.m. to get a ride attraction. Boy, the fun just never ends. I used to have 60 days. Now I have, I've got to get home early and take my Geritol and go to bed so I can get on rides.
That's a you problem. I'm just saying, take your Geritol and calm
Preach
down.
It, brother.
Okay. No, I love rustling out at 7 a.m.
Come on. The park opens at 8. You were always there at park opening. You were
I know, but I'm with you. But you're not exactly quick in the morning, so I mean.
Well, at Disney,
wow.
Actually,
I'm gonna have to separate them, y'all.
At Disneyland, you actually have to be in the park to be able to get your selection.
Yes.
And I am team that. So Disney Worlders, you get to do it from your hotel room.
Well, not all Disney Worlders.
I love that you have to be in the park.
But then we can go inside.
All Disney Worlders. That's only the ones that are paying a pretty penny to stay in their resorts.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, because everybody else can be in the park, right? You can. So at best, you get a 2-hour jump on the rest of humanity instead of 60 days. But there's hardly any difference, is there?
Okay, let Dawn go, because you and I are going to talk after this show. I'm telling you, James.
Okay, I know Kelly. I know you are trying to convert me. Kelly and I are usually on the same page. We're on the same page about a bunch of stuff. We're having to split the sheets on this one, Kelly.
Yeah, definitely. We're moving a whole new bed on this one.
Yes, I think I'm sleeping on the couch.
Now, one thing. Okay, now I've got some quotes to lay on you here.
There have been some very, very. I just want to give a shout out to the chat real quick. There have been some just top quality, funny comments made by people in the chat. So I want to thank you. The whole time Mom was reading that, I've been watching the chat too, and I've just been laughing so hard.
So cool.
Stuff people been saying in the chat. So you have that to look forward to whenever you watch the replay, Mom.
I will. I definitely. Thanks. We appreciate that so much.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thanks everybody for being here too.
Okay. Let's all take a deep breath and listen to the words of the immortal Walt Disney. Okay. Walt Disney. We all know Walt. We all know a lot of the things that he said. We all know. That Disneyland was something that he did. I honestly don't believe that Walt Disney built Disneyland for money. I think the money came, obviously. But he said Disneyland is a work of love. We didn't go into Disneyland just with the idea of making money. Okay. So there's that one. He also said you don't build it for yourself. You know what the people want, and you build it for them. Okay. And here's another one. Give the public everything you can give them. Keep the place as clean as you can keep it. Keep it friendly. Okay. Whatever you do it well. Do it so that when people see you do it, they will want to come back and see you do it again. They will want to bring others and show them how well you do what you do. Okay. Keep all this in mind. This is Walt Disney himself. Money doesn't excite me. Ideas excite me.
He was the creative force in the Walt Disney Company.
He was.
Roy Disney was the money man.
Was the money guy.
Walt Disney was the imagination.
Walt was the creator. He was the creator.
But
the best example of that
the other night, Roy was the one that found a way to make Walt's ideas
dreams reality.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Right?
Most
it wasn't
of the time
that Roy was saying, no, we're going to do this, this, and this in order to make money. And you sit down and shut up, Walt, because we got better ideas.
Most of the time. Or then Walt would say, "Well, screw you, Roy. I'm gonna pay for the Walt Disney's Enchanted Tiki Room and fund it myself." So,
and there is gonna be gold on the Cinderella Castle spires.
That was my example. Yeah.
Yeah.
The turrets on the castle was my example.
Yeah. Yeah, it's true.
So yes, they had to work together, but sometimes Walt just said, "I'm going to do it my own way."
You're not going to give you offended Will, Kelly.
William's gone.
Man down.
I had to get my charger.
There you go.
Man
there
down.
You go.
Man down.
Okay, not long after this whole thing was released, Josh D'Amaro, they trotted Josh D'Amaro out to make these announcements because everybody loves Josh D'Amaro, and they thought it would.
Handsome and
it's
nice
like a spoonful of sugar. It makes the medicine go down, right? So they trot Josh D'Amaro out. I've always been a huge Josh D'Amaro fan. Guys, he put a dagger through my heart with this, with these comments on Genie Plus. The whole thing is kind of long, but basically,
did you get the Joe Rohde quote too? Sorry,
I got the Joe. Get to the Joe Rohde quote. Joe Rohde, gosh, we all love Joe Rohde. Joe Rohde's an Imagineer who just is responsible for so many things. Animal Kingdom is straight out of Joe Rohde's mind. Pandora is straight out of Joe Rohde's mind. He changed Tower of Terror to Guardians of the Galaxy in Disneyland. The man is a genius. We absolutely love him. And Joe Rohde is noted for saying this and things like this a lot. We do these things. We do them for the guests.
Yeah,
Joe Rohde's whole thing, okay. And here's where I think most people and why most people are so upset. Because with the prices have been going up for a while, y'all. This just didn't happen in a vacuum, okay? This is kind of the straw, I think. Prices have been going up, and services have been going down. William, did you get the script?
Yes, I did.
Do you want to read the list of things? I'm calling it Lost Magic, okay? Yeah. This is perks and things that have not returned.
All right. So allow me to be the bearer of bad news here.
This is everything I
don't know about it already.
So in Avengers Endgame, they have the tagline related to some of the Avengers posters was "Avenge the Fallen." In Endgame.
DVC members should be at the top of that, honestly.
Yeah. Here's a list of things that have, as of now, have not returned. Parking lot trams. Packages bought in the parks could be delivered to your room. Packages bought in the parks could be delivered to the front of the park to be picked up later. The dining plan, which, again, we have heard is coming back at some point. Still no date yet, as far as I know. Annual passes, again, another thing that is coming back, but we don't know, sometime between now and October 1st.
Probably more money.
Fast passes. Obviously, Genie Plus, different take on that.
RIP, fast passes.
Magical Express.
Free fast passes. Sorry, William, go ahead.
Yeah. Magical Express, which technically you can pay for it through, Mears?
Mears.
Once they drop.
Used to be free.
Perk of staying on property. Let's see. Compensating you for days that you opt out of mousekeeping. So that's the housekeeping for your room while you're staying on property.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Free magic bands and luggage tags for staying on property. I do have a question on this one. And let me know if you know in the chat or if you know on screen. But I thought that you could go to the front desk when you arrived and get luggage tags, like the free luggage tags. Then they just don't send them to you anymore. Does anybody know?
No, they don't. They don't send them to you, and you don't get them. I don't think.
I went. Yes, I can confirm this. When Kylie, they used to send you your free magic bands and your free nice luggage tags, guys, in the mail.
Yeah, they were cute.
If you were staying at a Walt Disney World resort.
Plastic. They didn't.
They were very nice. I still have some.
So when Kylie and I went in April, we stayed at Pop Century. I went to the desk specifically to ask for luggage tags. They did not have them. It. That's gone. That's yeah. So RIP luggage tag. And those were free. Oh, William's got them. Look at that.
I pulled this off my laptop bag here. This is an old school
magic your way
air quotes.
Yep.
Let's see. Let me turn this off. Maybe clear. This is
the
like
luggage tag.
That's probably like
they're beautiful.
They're 2010,
really nice. Really nice.
2011-ish era.
And about 2015, they were sending out the Fab Five characters.
They were.
They were beautiful. I think they even changed them every couple of years, so that you got new ones.
Did.
I know the kids always like to see which one they were going to use or get, which characters. So that was I thought that it's nice when Disney delivered more than you expected. You know what I mean? Those luggage.
Bingo.
Ding, 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 ding. So we agree on that completely. Those extra things that just made Disney stand out. For making that trip extra magical. And who among us didn't get so excited when you got that magic band box?
I know.
Or that trip, your itinerary trip thing in the mail, and it had your luggage tags.
And all that. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's the best. It's the best.
So
and it's
fantastic.
And it's gone.
Yeah.
It's gone.
Right.
You're not finished with the list, are you, William?
Continuing on with the list. No. Parades, which we know the very merriest after hours hootenanny shindig.
The holiday hootenanny is what we're calling it.
Hootenanny is what we're calling the Christmas.
The expensive holiday
Christmas party. Yeah.
Because it doesn't say it doesn't. We named it that because it's Mickey's Very Merry After Hours.
Yeah.
Very Merry what? It's Disney. What is it? Disney World After Hours. What are they calling it?
Oh, it's something about holiday party.
Holiday after hours. There's not an object. There's no object.
Party.
Yeah.
Disney Very Merriest After Hours.
That's
it. Disney Very Merriest what? So we're calling it the Holiday Hootenanny.
The Holiday Hootenanny.
I like that much better. Disney, if you're listening, it should be Holiday Hootenanny.
All right, character meet and greets. Granted, we have the whole distance thing going on, but again, I've said this before on the channel. I'm 29 still, holding on strong to 29, and I love giving the characters hugs.
Hey, by the way, he really is 29, y'all. He actually is 29.
Yeah, I'm like some others, like Melissa, who's 29.
And so are we, Dawn and Tina. Well, we're holding on to 29
holding on, absolutely.
See, you know what? I am proud of my years. I fought hard for them.
And Kelly and I are fighting it every step of the way.
Yes.
All right. We do have parties this year. They've just been replaced.
Right. By after hours.
We have the Boo Bash.
I agree, Tina.
Disney's Very Merriest After Hours. So we formerly had Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party and Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party. Mm-hmm. Some of the performance artists at the resorts and also in the parks as well. Yeehaw Bob. So it's Yeehaw Bob Jackson. The Grand Floridian Orchestra. The drummers in Japan.
Mm-hmm.
And other live entertainment.
The drummers in Africa that were so good.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
yep.
So those
Polynesian dancers.
And,
Yeah, Bob.
extra magic hours, which they say, oh, if you stay on property, you get in 30 minutes early. Big whoop.
Well, you might as well. You're already up at 7,
Yeah.
so you can go on a ride.
Oh my goodness.
With a zinger. I love it, James. Park entry and hopping with no reservations. Obviously, still got the whole park reservation thing going on. Hey, welcome in, Walt. Great to see you.
Hey, Walt. Hey.
Hey, Walt.
We're griping and complaining, Walt. Feel free to join in.
Send in the link. You might.
The Disney stores that are closing all over, and they continue to close them, which I have a big soapbox spiel for this, and I'll save it for later. And the last thing on the list, Joe Rohde retired during the blip, and also I wanted to mention too another creative mind from Disney's Animal Kingdom was is it Jawan Rivers, the VP of Animal Kingdom, long time. He'd been with the company for 30 years and in charge of Animal Kingdom since 2014. Was yet another blow that we had Imagineer-wise during the pandemic.
And that was a tough one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
it is a hard pill to follow. Yes, we're all celebrating the return of fast passes as far as Genie Plus. We're celebrating that you can do that, yes. But when you list like that, all the things that are not now included in that ticket admission price, all those things.
Phantasmic.
Phantasmic, yeah. So
also not bad. And if you're listening, Bob Chapek, and also Justin Amaro, and anyone else in command, please bring back Phantasmic, because I would love for Wyatt to be able to see it for his first trip.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yes. And bring back bring the version to Disney World that's actually at Disneyland, because it's
it is much better.
And then you think about, like you mentioned, Yeehaw Bob. I was pretty new to Disney World, having not been there since I was a small child 100 years ago. And when I came, I was so impressed.
29 years ago.
that Grand Floridian Orchestra, and oh my goodness, I had one of the best nights ever at watching Yeehaw Bob, and the resorts themselves are actually destinations, not just places to lay your head at night.
Absolutely.
And so many things that made each of the resorts magical and amazing, and a place you wanted to spend time. And all of those things that really set Disney apart, that made whatever resort that was feel real. You felt like you were in the bayou, or you felt like you were, at the Grand Floridian.
And I think they've diminished that. I don't get the same feels I do when they tell me they're going to make up my room every 4 or 7 days. That's not resort living. That's, $400 a night for a third world experience.
Okay, James. But and then to mention Disney Vacation Club members who have actually invested thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars for their future Disney vacations are not getting like top of the world lounge, or they're not getting those fantastic
seats.
Moonlight Magic, which was really a Disney Vacation Club bougie thing that they got to do, and as well as all those like painting and wine tastings and just everything that really made Disney Vacation Club special. Those things haven't returned yet either. And so I think I understand why, especially at Disney World, where you're like, hey, we're not getting all this myriad of things, and now you want to charge us extra for what we used to get for free. Now, until maybe annual pass holders will get some of the same perks that they got before, we just don't know until Disney announces what those annual passes are going to look like. But for the regular ticket goer, I get it. It's the Disney World that you experience today. While there's magic there, it's certainly not as magical as it was in February of 2020.
You get less for $15 a jump.
Well, I think.
Well,
I think I would be more upset about paying the same ticket price and getting less.
Well, I begin
the same resort price.
Why do you buy a ticket? Less. Why are we buying tickets at all? What is a ticket worth then if it's only merely the opportunity to come in? I mean, we all have been there with families. Do you mean to tell me? Let me take your granddaughter, Dawn. I mean, a lovely girl. If she said to me, I really want to go on Rise of the Resistance, do you think I'm going to not pay $15 and take her?
It may be a lot more than $15.
Oh yeah, it's going to be more than 15.
You've got the Genie that's $15 per day per ticketed guest.
Yeah,
but over and above
Rise is going to be
Rise is going to be another amount which may exceed $50.
The young families that are led by guys like Will and his wife Jillian, they no longer have the opportunity to precisely plan their budget because they don't know what each day-to-day experience is going to bring. They're no longer going to get photo. I mean, are you kidding me with this photo thing? It's a rip from Snapchat.
That's a joke. That's a joke.
It is a joke.
It really is.
I agree.
The only thing I can think about the Snapchat, because that's different at Disney World than Disneyland. Disneylanders for their Max Pass will get their photos.
They do.
At Disney World, they're going to get the filters. I'm hoping that means that annual pass holders will still get their photos, and that people with tickets generally purchase the Magic Maker, whatever
memory maker
for the photo the photo thing. So I'm crossing my fingers for annual pass holders that they still get those included. But I mean, this kind of reminds me when I was little, we would buy tickets to go into Disneyland, and you would have a whole bunch of A, B, and C tickets, and very few D and E tickets, right? And then if you wanted more E tickets, you had to go buy more E tickets. So let's be honest, not everything's always been included with an admission price.
But the admission was a whole lot less, Miss.
The admission price was very low.
I'm just saying it's not an idea that hasn't been there before. What I think that's next because people are enjoying it.
See, the thing is my thought is that they're going to have me paying for this and paying for this and paying for this and paying for this, then they should not be charging so much for admission. Part of the reason why we were paying so much for admission was because all of this was included. See, everybody was saying, "Oh, they're free fast pass, free pass, free pass." They're not free. And you paid for them with part of admission. Nothing is free. Always remember that, people. Nothing.
I've heard the argument that the Genie is really going to benefit tourists who only come in frequently. It's really going to benefit this group or that. And we shouldn't really be hard on it because we've had great benefits for free and we should eagerly give them up. Well, what a bunch of bunk that is.
I don't think anybody said eagerly.
I agree.
Think about it. Let's say you go on vacation. You're not guaranteed that you can get on Rise of the Resistance for the last year.
I've never missed. And
I was going to say you do if you bring me.
And
but I mean, I would get calls, people yelling at me.
And this baloney that people didn't like to plan 60 days out. I'm sorry, I'm guilty. I planned 60 days out. I planned 30 days out. I know where
preach it, James. Preach.
I know where I'm going to have dinner, and I know where I can dine, and I can make reservations. And then I sit down and I look forward to everything that I've arranged, and I share it with the people I love, and it's worked perfectly for 10 years, and I pay for it. I have a platinum annual pass, and I'm a member of the DVC. I'm not exactly Joe Cheap over there.
I'm giving you a virtual hug right now, James, and I would just like to append my name to the bottom of everything you just said.
So I'm okay with them changing some things, and I'm okay with product improvement. Yeah. But I'm not, I have no desire to have them tether a hose into my wallet because I'm the head of a family and think it's fair game.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So just watching the demo. So to talk about the actual functionality, let's let's not pretend like Disney's tech in terms of their app. I've had issues with the mobile app. I've had issues with Shop Disney. I've had issues with Disney Plus before. Let's not pretend like they have the best track record on rolling these things out.
Oh, wow.
I'm so worried. I am so worried that it's going to just crash constantly.
Oh, and they're doing it, and they're doing it during the 50th anniversary rollout. So not that there's any extra pressure.
Yeah. So let's, so not only have we hacked everybody off, let's hack everybody that we didn't hack off. You know, let's just get everybody and have that app crash and everybody, you know.
It's going to be a hot mess.
One point I'd like to make, one of the things, you know, going back to, you know, Walt Disney, always remember Walt Disney. It was always about the guest. Okay. And now
about the guest experience.
Yes. And now,
which is what I was reading earlier.
Stockholders. Okay. Now it's about the stockholders.
Yes.
Except for one thing. I think Cheapek and the rest of the Disney board. I'm sorry. That's what I call him now. Cheapek. All right. I don't know quite how to spell it yet, but Cheapek. But the thing is, the thing that they seem to be forgetting is, unlike a lot of stock people who buy stocks, a lot of people who buy Disney stock because they love Disney.
Yeah.
Okay. Amen. They're not just buying stock because they would like to buy stock. Okay. So when he's talking about, I want to make it better for the stockholder, he's making it worse for the stockholder that bought stock because they love Disney.
And they should.
He's going to lose his stockholders.
And they should
by trying to make it better for the stockholders.
They should all show up at the annual meeting and crab and complain.
Yes.
One share or 20,000.
I understand, James, that you have already sent a strongly worded letter to guest relations.
I did.
Can we say scathing?
We can say scathing. You could say heated. You could say logical, correct. And
so the envelope was on fire when you put it in the mail. I love it.
Yep.
I love it.
My mailman put it in the freezer box.
You know, in Harry Potter.
When, I was going to say, not crossed over to Universal, but I'm thinking of like one of those letters that goes.
The Howlers, yes.
The Howler.
Ronald Weasley.
But I observed in that letter that at the end of 2019 into 20, as a DVC member and AP member, you know, I could hop parks. I could pick my I could pick my fast passes 30 or 60 days, depending on where I stayed. I had free photo pass for the entire year.
Yes, sir.
And I had substantial discounts on lodging when I wasn't in the DVC.
You had free parking.
Welcome in, Dreamer Deborah.
Free parking.
I was prince of the.
Hey, Dreamer.
Now I am pauper of the parking lot, and they still want more money.
That's so clever.
And I don't get any advantage to be. I think the tragedy is, what advantage do you have now to stay in the resorts or a DVC? What do you get? So everybody's going to be down and kissing me on, you know, West Earl O'Bronson staying at the Ramada. So they can, because they get the same things that we do.
Oh my goodness.
Mouse Talk, don't put me in there. Let me tell you who this Disney Plus is really going to help, and the Lightning Pass.
Yes, please tell us.
You know who's really going to benefit is the majority of people that go to Disney World, which are the tourists, the occasional vacationers.
Yes.
So I'm going to spend $10,000 to do a once every 5-year trip. Okay. Right. So I know that I want to be able to.
Bob Cheapek is in the chat, guys. Look at.
Goodness.
Welcome, Bob.
Hello, Bob. Have we got an earful for you? Okay. But Kelly, I disagree because of the fact that what you're saying is that the people that are just going for once in a lifetime, they're the ones that are going to benefit. All right?
Yeah.
No, they're not, because they're still paying more than what they would have a year ago and they're still having to spend more than what they were planning on. You know how many chats I'm in that they're talking about how they're going to have to save for another year in order to go on a trip because, like James said, you don't know how much you're going to be spending even. All right. Yeah. You can't even count on, like with the dining plan, which I'm not a big proponent of, but some people were. But you knew ahead of time how much you were going to be spending.
You prepaid for it.
Right.
The dining plan was on our list.
Dining was all
everything was paid for when you walked into that park other than your souvenirs. Now
and William, I know that you love that. That y'all use the dining plan. You love that.
I know a lot of people hate on it. But for me to know, okay, I don't have to worry. I've paid the money up front. I've got my credits. I know. And here's the thing. We just like James said, we love to plan. We have these things to look forward to. Not even all the restaurants we would want to eat at on our trip in November are even open yet. Just for example, people hate, or Disney Food Blog specifically, always gives a scathing review of Nine Dragons. Jillian, I love it. And it's not open yet. So anyway, I know a lot of people don't like the dining plan. I don't mind it. I pay all this money up front. I don't have to worry about it. All I have to worry about is tip at California Grill, because inevitably we're going to save a credit from the night we get in and a credit from the day of, and we're going to go eat at California Grill. I don't know. A lot of people don't like it, but we like it, and I don't. I like not having to think about it.
And like I said, you are carrying the burden, Will, because as a young family, you guys are going to pay more than conscionable for less, and I feel really bad about that. And I think what's going to happen now is older adults are going to have to bring their adult children and their children to actually have a Disney experience. I think there's going to be this sort of cascading effect where for young people to actually go, they're going to have to rely on parents and grandparents. And I mean, if it costs that much, Walt raises the point, who would not go? I think we're all going to go to Disney. But I think the fact that we're all still going doesn't disable us from speaking plainly about what our needs are.
Yeah.
Well, and I think...
And remember, ahead, I'm sorry. Go ahead, William.
No, finish your thought, Tina.
Oh, sorry. Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Remember, I said a couple nights ago. Something. Chuck and I actually talked about it. And after this December trip, and I talked to some people for our December trip, and they were in agreement. We were talking about how, and mind you, I have annual passes. A lot of these people don't have annual passes, but when they're talking about buying their passes for the 8 days that we're going to be there, all right? We were going to be going into the parks like 6 of those 8 days. I talked to them and they're saying, I'm perfectly okay with spending a couple of days at Universal and a couple of days at SeaWorld.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I think that is a trend, Tina, because people are upset. I think this Genie Plus was just the, the straw that broke the camel's back. I think a lot of those things that you listed before that, you're not getting Magic Express, you're not getting the luggage tags, you're not getting that special treatment, you're not getting maid services, you're not, the list is, you're not getting that entertainment that you used to get at the resorts and in the parks. That made it so special. So I think people are just saying, are you kidding me? Enough is enough. So I totally get it. I do. I think it can be a valuable tool. I'm hoping annual pass holders and Disney Vacation Club members get some sort of special installment of this or some opportunity with this. I'm crossing my fingers because they really deserve it. As annual pass holders, they shouldn't be getting less. Disney Vacation Club members, both of those groups invested in Disney Vacation, going to Disney. They should be getting some sort of something, for that investment.
Yeah.
Well, I loved Max Pass at Disneyland. It works really well. I do also feel for Disney Worlders that this is becoming expensive and complicated, and you're getting so much less.
Well, I make the case, though, and I think those are good points, Kelly, but I make the case that although I wrote a scathing letter, I also in that letter identified particularly what I complained about.
Yeah.
I think everyone who's involved in this issue ought to do the same. I mean, go to the Disney website, put in a comment, talk about your own experiences.
Yes.
One thing that I will always say for Disney
because they're going to be watching all that. They're going to be watching all that. Yeah.
And
we all need to if you're unhappy with this, you need to make your voice known. Absolutely. Because they do watch that.
They really do. Contact us on the website, write an email. And if they get enough that is trending the same, you may get annual pass holders that get, Genie Plus included. You may get your photos included for annual passes or Disney Vacation Club. So, just flood them with emails because they really do listen.
Yeah, they do.
I intend on.
James they'll respond. They will respond. They may not like a lot of to respond, but they do.
Right. Yeah. I think they will.
I was going to say there are a number of things about all this that's just kind of head scratching. One thing, and I've heard other people. I've listened to other streams. Walt did a really good stream. So if you haven't already, go check out Mouse Talk stream.
Yes. Kelly did a great stream.
Mm-hmm.
Check out Kelly's.
Kelly did a wonderful stream too, and
did a wonderful stream.
So did so did Dev. I mean, I was watching Dev too.
Dad builds Chris with an excellent point here. Asked that former DJ at the Magic Kingdom closing a week ago if complaints matter. Hashtag he gone.
Yeah.
So I had a lot to say about that too, and I don't want to derail.
Yeah, that's in the script too, Chris.
Yeah. So Anyway, there's just a lot of things. Disney's tech. Let's face it. The shop Disney has issues. Which okay. Oh man, I guess we're gonna have to wait till next week to talk about the Disney stores.
Can I just say they just announced that the Disney store that has been there forever in Tempe, Arizona, which was actually a outlet store for Disneyland as well. We just got the email yesterday that it's closing by September 15th, and I'm so sad. It was the last one in Arizona.
Disney store. Yeah. They're going to close all of them, y'all. They intend
to 29 left.
There's no question. Yeah, there's no question.
Have a good night, Jim. Thanks for being here.
Good night, Jim.
Really appreciate you. Check out More Sunshine, please, as well. A lot of wonderful channels represented in the chat.
Oh, thank you, Jim, so much. Thanks for popping in, Jim. We appreciate it.
Just real quick, my thoughts on the Disney stores. I'm going to try to keep this short, but it may be difficult. As people who are in Texas, and we're right smack in the middle, where you got Walt Disney World on one side of it, you got Disneyland on the other.
Deep in the heart of Texas.
The Disney store is the closest thing we can get to Disney outside of people's live streams. There is a Target nearby that has a Disney section in it. And again, I see Bob Chapek in the chat, but Bob Chapek. See, we've all joked about it enough to where I even have a slip of the tongue.
I didn't call him Bob Chapek. Okay, I'm not offended.
So, I would just like to say there's a Target with a Disney store section in it, and I thought, okay, this is to a degree, this is kind of cool. It's got some Galaxy's Edge exclusive merchandise that was in it. The rest, outside of that, all the merchandise is pretty generic, at least in our Target Disney store.
Right.
Let me tell you this. A big problem, a big trend that I'm seeing is Disney is moving away from caring about the guest experience. And the reason I say that is because I can go to the Disney store tomorrow and I can talk to people that are just as crazy about Disney as me. I can talk to them about their most recent trip. I can talk to them about the trip they have coming up. I can talk to them about how long they've been working with the company. I can ask them when the
and they recognize you when you walk in.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love that.
Because I'm always wearing some sort of Disney shirt, and they're usually like, or a hat or something, and they're like, "Oh, that's really cool," and we'll strike up conversation. But it's a special touch, and so screens, digital experience, customer experience, you're not going to have that in the Target Disney store sections. You're not going to have a designated person in that section unless they change something, which I don't think they will do. You're not going to have that designated person in the section to talk Disney with you and talk, listen to your thoughts, ask you about when your next trip is, ask you, about what characters you like. I've had a lot of great conversations.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love those
many great
Disney stores when they first opened because they had the magic windows.
Yeah.
Where
They're
they
over
had
the top.
they were so cool. And you'd walk in and it was like being at Disney. It was like a little slice of Disney, no matter where you were in the country.
Exactly.
And it's sad that those are now going away and just, you shop online, which it just doesn't have the same feels, especially when you have littles, to be able to take them to the Disney store.
And the other thing too is I can get stuff and I can try it on, or I can pick it up and hold it. Yeah, I can tangibly look at it and turn it around. There was for a case in point, there was an Indiana Jones fedora that was for sale from Disneyland, and I picked it up and I was like, oh, this is pretty neat. I put it on. I flipped the camera towards me on my phone, and I was like, I'm just not feeling it. So I couldn't have done that. I'd have had to get it. I had to order it from Shop Disney, which again, Shop Disney has its own issues that I've run into plenty of times.
Oh boy, issues is putting it mildly.
Yeah, there are cast members at the Disney stores, and again, they're called cast members as well.
Yes, they are.
They are. There's a sweet lady there that it's hitting I think the 10-year mark, having worked at the Disney store. And
I've talked with her several times.
Yeah, there are perks that come with that, and so I think that she should. I'm pretty sure she's going to hit the landmark before they eventually, or hit that spot before they close in the store. But I do not. I understand. Okay, so that's that. I'll take off my Disney fan hat just for a second. I understand that they're not wanting to pay the labor cost and the brick and mortar cost of having locations, and they can pass that cost off onto Target and say, here, Target, here you go. Here's some of our merch. I don't know what the terms of the agreement is or the partnership is with Target, but I just don't care for it because you're not going to give people who are coming in to buy the Disney stuff the same pixie dust, the same customer experience as you would going into your own Disney store.
Exactly.
Because you're just walking through a Target, and there's not going to be anybody positioned in there that's the speaking, the mouthpiece for Disney there. And so it's just like walking through the toy section. Yeah, it's just like going to get a gallon of milk. It's there, but it's part of the Target store.
A gallon of milk, set of ears. We always buy those together.
Yeah.
So I don't think I've ever set foot in a Target store. So
I just don't care for it. I love. It's like, as I said, and I know there are many other people in the chat. I know Amy, AGC Magic TV, lost her local Disney store. I think the closest one to her now is like 3 hours away, I think. So the day that it goes, I'm going to be very upset. And it's just really going to hurt my feelings. And here's the thing. We can throw our opinions out there all day long. And the reason we're even talking about this is because we're passionate about it and because we care. Yep. And we can sit around and express our frustrations, but at the end of the day, you have to keep in mind the only reason we're doing it is because we care. And I want to read. So Lee Cockrell, I'm actually connected with him on LinkedIn. He had worked his way up to executive vice president of operations for Walt Disney World Resort. Had a great career, great book, called The Customer Rules. He's got a couple other books too, but I wanted to read an excerpt from his book, and this is from rule number 2. So it's like, I think it's 30. It's called The Customer Rules: The 39 Essential Rules for Delivering Sensational Service. This is rule number 2. You win customers one at a time and lose them 1,000 at a time.
That's true.
the point is, every time a customer comes in contact with your business, whether in person, on the phone, or on your website, it's a moment of truth. Your reputation is about to either better or worse. If you do something to tick off your customer at that moment of truth, you can bet hers won't be the only business you lose. Do something that adds value at that moment of truth, and he will look forward to coming back and will tell others about you. Do something that adds a lot of value, and that customer might be so stunned by your sincere, thoughtful, resourceful service that she'll go straight to her computer and tell the world. Satisfied customers are the best marketing staff you can possibly have. They, not your advertisements, are your true messengers. If that airline service was as good as half, or was half as good as its commercials, I would still be a happy customer. So obviously he's wrapping up a story that he had told there. But again, whenever you're frustrating, and I get, I understand, offerings change. They try new things over time.
That's right, Alex.
They tried that thing with the DJ, and obviously they couldn't have missed the mark any harder than they did.
Boom.
Bless his heart, he was just trying to work his gig. I
agree with Alex. I worked at a guest-facing role in Magic Kingdom, and it was so much drilled into us that each interaction with a guest was an interaction, was communication, was a conversation. Yes. It was not to ever feel like a transaction.
Yeah.
So when,
there you go.
You're at the Emporium and you're purchasing those Mickey ears, you should never feel like you're simply buying something. So we were encouraged to notice if they were wearing a button or they had a really cool shirt on or something like that. Talk to the little ones to really.
That's why we love Disney, Kelly. That's
conversation. It was very much. So I think that those principles really need to be across the board. And
the problem is that the cast members are learning that, but it seems like Bob Chapek and the rest of the board didn't ever learn that.
I agree with you, Tina. Yeah. Amen. Mm-hmm.
It's so I appreciate y'all hanging in there for my point about the Disney store. It's that special touch. Yeah. It's that interaction with the cast member. And I'll tell you what, another thing too is I scroll through Shop Disney quite a bit, mainly looking for new stuff. But there have been plenty of things in that Disney store. Either A, Jillian wanted it, B, Wyatt wanted it, or C, I saw it and wanted it. And so now, since I'm not walking, I could walk past, unless they change the things that they put in that section in the Targets, they're going to lose a substantial amount of money for me just walking into the Disney store and saying, "Oh, you know what? That's really cool," or finding something on sale.
It's taken out that interaction. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. There is no cast member there having a conversation with you about how much you both love Disney. And there isn't that magic. I was excited to see it in Target because I love Target, but you're right. You just kind of stroll through and it's like, okay, it feels very meh. Yeah. It doesn't feel like exclusive or anything like that.
It's a department store. I mean,
right.
Well, they also had, that whole opening spiel, where they woke up the magic at the Disney stores. Has anybody ever seen that? They brought out the book and, it was an extension.
Let the magic begin.
Let the magic begin. I have a video of that, guys. Go back and check out on our channel. William and I went to get the Minnie Mouse key. We got up at the crack of, the roosters crowing and went to get that Minnie Mouse key. And it's on the channel. It's one of the first videos that we did. There it is. Aww. And they brought out the book and they woke up the magic. The Disney store wasn't just a store, just like Disney is not just a park. Yep. And so, it's this, and Kelly, I know you know what we're saying. The thing that worries us the most, the thing that I'm hearing all of us say on this panel, and everybody in the chat, and everybody that left a comment on those Disney Parks videos, the common thread was you are taking away the magic and turning Disney into just another theme park.
Yeah. And we don't want that. We don't want that. We want the magic. We want,
and Disney has never been
Tina
that.
Was mentioning Walt, and you were mentioning Walt, and Walt Disney really did want you to enter into, leave the real world behind and enjoy a magical time.
It's on our front door.
Are with,
Yeah.
And it is. I will say the last few times I've been, it felt very like it's fun, but it didn't,
I keep thinking, oh, there goes a cavalcade. Gee, I wish we had the parades back. And, well, there's I don't know. There's the oh, I wish we had the stage show.
Yeah, there's the entrance to Fantasmic.
Yeah, and this is the thing. And I mean, everybody keeps talking about, well, Universal has been doing this for years.
Exactly, Bob.
SeaWorld has been doing that for years. Well, I keep saying, I'm sorry, but Disney was the first. Disney was the innovator. Disney should be leaving the other parks in the dust.
You go, girl.
Not following in their footsteps.
Yep.
Yeah.
And
that's
when I'm paying $300 a night to stay in a hotel, I shouldn't have to pay another $25 a night.
Yep.
That's
what I commented on in Walt's video on Genie Plus. Was I said, I straight up said, it's insulting to ask me to pay more money whenever I already paid off our trip in November. I completely understand I'm going to spend money in the parks, but I don't want to spend, a little bit of quick math for you. We got 3 people times 4 days, $15 a head at least, assuming we get do the Genie Plus.
That's $45 a day.
Right.
Yeah, that's $180.
To come home to a room that the bed isn't made and the garbage is still filled from last night because it's not going to be cleaned for the 4th day.
That's right.
Yada, 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 and on it goes.
That didn't bother me because I don't like people going into my room and I'm
I love it.
Okay, but if you opted out of mousekeeping, they gave you a credit on your account.
Yes.
So
the days that you opted out of mousekeeping, they gave you a credit. You think they do that anymore?
No.
I do love it. I like to think
you got to pay more in order to get mousekeeping.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I like to think that there's little fairies that come and clean the room while I'm at the park, and then you come in, and it's like,
well, you are
a vacation.
So, I mean,
a vacation.
I'm pretty sure the fairies that are at Disney
fired the fairies.
The room, but somebody.
Bob laid the fairies off. They're gone.
Yeah. I like to think those same little fairies visit me at night and deposit, $100 bills into my wallet so I can afford to take the family. Hey.
Oh goodness!
But this is one of the things. Okay, Dawn and Will, you haven't, but Kelly and James, you've met my husband. Okay,
yeah.
my husband is an irascible old teddy bear. Okay, I love him.
Great guy. I love Chuck.
But he has a way of thinking of things and saying things and stuff like that. But I was telling you earlier about how we were talking about going to SeaWorld and Universal. But one of the things he's talked about, he was so insulted when they started charging for parking. And he was like, well, why don't they include it? Just include it in the price of the room. Nobody's going to. And I said, wait a minute. I shouldn't have to pay $25 more included in my room because we don't have a car. We don't bring a car. So, no, I'm already paying this much. Now, granted, it's DVC points, but if you had any idea how much we're paying for those DVC points, you understand.
Yeah. Amen.
Oh, yeah.
Okay? So the idea is that I shouldn't have to pay $25 a night because I had the audacity to make a reservation for one of the most expensive, beautiful resorts on the property.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I shouldn't have to pay $15 a night to park my car if I chose to go cheaper. And I think a lot of people, they're talking about how a lot of people are canceling their resort stays. I think a lot of people are going off property.
Well,
I think that's going to be a trend.
If you get rid of all those benefits that came included with that more expensive, staying on property is more expensive, let's be honest. But, it was kind of more convenient. You got all those fantastic things. So, so I can see that people are staying on property. Hi, Rob.
Rob, welcome in. Guys, okay, I've got to give Rob a plug. Rob Fuzz not only has the best voice in the Disney community.
The velvet voice.
The velvety tones of Rob Fuzz. I love your channel, Rob. If you haven't checked out his channel, absolutely go do it. Vintage Disney World videos. Oh my gosh. Watched Spectral Magic.
Away from the cliff.
Love it. Watch Spectral Magic. All those fantastic.
Yes,
Rob, I love them. Absolutely.
I just go full screen and just let them go. And right after
good stuff. Well, thanks for being here, Rob. We appreciate it.
His retro can now come all the way forward to 2019. Yeah. Where we actually had fast passes. We could get early, where we had photo passes, part of our AP, where you had a 60-day window with your hotel. They actually clean them every night. So the retro function Rob, you can shoot all the way till 2019 because we're not remembering those things next year, folks.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm going to remember them next year. And Rob, a lot of people are going to be off property, just like you. A lot of people.
Thanks, Mike.
Because what is the point? And I appreciate that, Mike. Mike has dropped the link for that quest for the Minnie Mouse Key. If you want to see the opening, the Waking Up the Magic at the Disney Store, go watch that because I'm so glad we got that because obviously it's going away. But yes, Rob said says he is staying on the Disney off property
store website. Like that's the same.
Yeah. So we're staying off property too. Rob says I'm doing an Airbnb, have home pool. There you go.
Nice.
And we now that's us, Rob. We have timeshares. We're not DVC, but we have timeshares. Sometimes we stay on property. Sometimes we stay off property. I'm going to be staying off property because they've taken away so many perks of staying on property. Yeah. So they're not getting my money, guys. I'm not a captive audience if I'm not staying on Disney property. That's why they gave us so many perks to stay on Disney property. They wanted us to stay there and spend our money on property. They didn't want us to take a couple of days and go to Universal, which is what we're going to be doing now. We're overdue for a trip to Universal, guys. William and I love Harry Potter. Love Harry Potter. We're way overdue for a trip to Universal.
Oh, their thrill rides are phenomenal. We're definitely overdue.
Oh, absolutely.
I think Hagrid's motorbike ride is the best ride in Orlando.
That's
you gotta feel better, Rob.
Yep.
Yeah.
And the new Velasha coaster, if you're a big coaster person, is intense.
Oh, yeah. We haven't done Hagrid's Magical Journey.
We haven't done either one of those yet.
And we haven't done, so we are we're overdue. We're gonna do it.
And if you venture over to SeaWorld, if you're a coaster fan, Kraken and
Kraken's good, but
those are great rides too.
I haven't been to SeaWorld in years.
Coaster in Central Florida, I honestly believe, is Mako.
Yeah, Mako's
a lot of airtime. A lot of
airtime. Wow.
Well, and this was coming from James Wright, an unofficial American coaster enthusiast.
Yeah.
Could I get more nerdy?
I think so.
The bottom line is that SeaWorld has a lot to offer. And look at what they offer their AP holders.
Yes, Rob.
Mama Mouse says it's her favorite park is SeaWorld.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes, she does. She loves SeaWorld. She loves it. And Rob Fuzz has brought up Busch Gardens in Tampa, y'all. Now, that's another one we're way overdue for. Busch Gardens went, we went years and years ago. William, I think you were 3 the last time we went to Busch Gardens. It was fantastic.
I was older than that. on our most recent trip.
Was that different? Okay.
I was old enough to win Mr. Krabs out of a plush crane game at Busch Gardens. That is the main thing I remember, aside from thinking that the animals in the park and everything was really, really neat.
Good. Yeah. Well, Busch Gardens.
I think I rode the Scorpion. There's like a Scorpion coaster at Busch Gardens, I want to say.
The bottom line, guys, is we have a lot of entertainment options. We have a lot of entertainment options. And when people like us, who are Disney fanatics, obviously, and people in the chat, and people who just absolutely love Disney, start saying, hey, we're going to go to Universal. We're going to go to something is wrong.
Yep.
And needs to be corrected. And I firmly believe, I hope and pray that Disney hears all of the complaints and all of the whining and griping, which are legitimate, by the way, and reverses course or something. Something needs to give here, because I have yet to get a spring roll from the spring roll cart outside of Adventureland, and those suckers have gone up $3.
I mean, a $3 jump is a lot.
It's a
lot. For a $6 item to go up to $9, that's a lot.
And
but they're not $9 anymore. They're $12.
Hey, Russ.
Oh, I thought
they went up again.
Hey, Russ,
Kelly.
we were just talking about SeaWorld.
Yeah, we were. There you go. There's our connection to SeaWorld there. We've already covered it, Russ. You're late.
I recently went to.
I have a feeling Russ has been ninja watching.
You don't think Russ? You don't know Bob Chapek. He's been in the chat all night. You don't know him, do you?
I went to Legoland for the first time recently, and we had the best time ever. I literally said to James after the end of the day, I was like, this is the most fun I've had at a theme park in a good 6 months.
Wow, Kelly.
It was busy, but it was clean. They managed the crowds well. It was super clean. The people that worked there were super nice. I don't know what I expected, but it was awesome.
Downscale, you're killing me. Well, again, I think, I know that, Disney fans, we love to moan and groan about stuff that doesn't amount to a hill of beans. This is not one of those things. This is big, guys. Yeah. We're tired of being nickeled and dimed to death. We're tired of having less and less and less services every day, less magic every day, and you're wanting to charge us more and more and more. Ergo, the Boo Bash and the Holiday Hootenanny. So, those are the things that are really getting on our nerves. And I think we just need to make our voices heard. James, your suggestion about letting, sit and I would say a paper letter goes a long way anymore.
Yes.
I would say,
I think it goes further than doing it online.
Do it all.
Yes.
I do.
A written letter. A written letter has I honestly think a written letter has more weight, because they know that you are actually making the effort to write it out or type it out.
You know what?
I agree, but when you do an online, it's documented. So I mean, I would do the combo. I think that written letter really that they receive in the mail that is noticed more, and the online, but you have a record of it.
Now, Gail, I wasn't sure if you noticed I updated my name. So everybody in the stream, if you would like to continue watching,
$15
be a little bit extra. How about we only add sound, Will, for the extra $15? So otherwise, it's just sound.
Yeah.
If you don't start super chatting, we're done.
There you go.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness.
Seriously, can I just say, I think we may more have swayed Kelly. Kelly swayed us.
Well,
Does it sound like
I think it's a manageable program, but I do see in Disney World especially, it's just insult to injury already. There's so much that's missing. I can see why Disney Worlders are upset.
Oh, Russ.
Oh, Russ. He called us on it.
They did.
In fairness to Kelly, because she and I have talked about this ad nauseum, she has recognized that.
Okay, wait. You've talked ad nauseum, and I've just listened.
Well, that's a Latin phrase meaning for a long time. Let's not, jump off a bridge. She's always recognized that it would be easier for the Disneylanders because they were assuming a system that they already had, and it would be much more difficult for the Disney Worlders because there was the potential to actually lose services.
Oh, Tina, thanks so much for being
here. And I think her analysis has been very precise.
Yes.
But I also think that your litany of things that we lost earlier today, Will, the script, that was extraordinarily telling. And people should.
And that's not everything. That's not even everything.
Those are only the things we could think of, James.
Yeah.
I think you could make a list equally long for exclusively Disney Vacation Club members.
Right.
But they're not getting. So I think that is a very valid opportunity there.
Yeah.
So
and that's a contributing factor.
Be a good American if you're watching here live or on the replay. Write a letter, send an email. Yeah. Express yourself because I believe Disney has a wonderful record of responding. And clearly from the vlogs I've seen, nobody likes this new operation. So
we're getting to it, Mark.
Yeah. No, we haven't even gotten there yet.
Oh my.
No, seriously, it's terrible. And James and I were talking about this.
Time.
we had a fantastic stream last week. It was great, but it really just afterwards we talked and talked and talked. Disney IT, let's be honest, is terrible. It's horrible. It's crashes all the time. And now terrible. This Genie, previous to closure, Disneyland had their own system. Disney World had their own system. Now they're the same. They're the same system. So I am so concerned.
This is a bad deal.
Now
Kelly.
I've
got a bad feeling about this.
Where they're using the same system for both parks at the same time.
Yeah. Yeah.
I feel sorry for the cast members in the parks because it will go down and everything will go down. Mobile ordering, the fast passes, everything you have to do everything on that app now. Yep. Open your room door.
Yep.
That's to your broom closet. If you want to use your hair dryer, you have to have your.
But still, everything is, and now it was one part. Now it's 3.
Well, and if your phone runs out of gas, you can line up at the Genie charging station for $15 and get a little power.
I know James has been talking about the room service and everything tonight. And I was just thinking of making a joke along the same lines of getting in there and needing to buy Genie Plus in order to turn your shower on.
That's right. We give the free service cold water, but if you want hot,
it's like going to the Woolworth and having to pay a dime to go to the bathroom. Through the paid toilets.
Oh my heavens, right? I mean, when you see one of those, you're like, what the heck is happening? I've seen those in California. And then, or like when you go to, I forget what that grocery store is. They have them in Florida. And they don't give you a bag to put your stuff in. You literally have to bring your own bag or pay for like a plastic bag. It's so crazy. So yeah.
Wow. That's everywhere here in New York. It's everywhere here in New York. You got to bring your own bag.
Yeah. It's and it's these kind of things. Listen, Guys, Disney, I understand that Disney is a business. I am a capitalist. Ask Tina, ask William. Ask James. Y'all, I'm a capitalist. I understand that Disney is a business. I totally get that. But y'all, we are one bad leader away from the toilet, a paid toilet. We are one bad leader away from, and I'm really afraid that Bob Chapek was put in as CEO. I know he's taken a lot of heat, but the buck stops here, Bob. If you're still in the chat.
I think Bob's still here.
He's trying to recoup. He's lurking. He's trying to recoup all of the Rona losses that, all of the stuff from COVID. And, it's like, we're not going to give you the value. We're going to take away the value. We're going to take away the perks, but we're going to charge you, $12.99 for 2 spring rolls in the park. And we're gonna up all the prices just ever so slightly, and then boom, you've got, Spirit jerseys go up $5 a piece, ears go up $5 a piece. There's just enough. Yeah. We all went through Rona too, folks. We all went through we've lost businesses. Y'all,
Tina was making a good point about that the other night, that it's like they're wanting their money that they should have gotten while they were closed.
Yeah.
But Tina made a good point the other night that that's actually our money.
Not their money until we pay it to them. Right. It's not their money until we pay it to them.
That's right.
And this is the thing. I mean, I'm a capitalist too. I mean, I'm there. See, he's here. I'm all over that. But the thing is I believe in true capitalism. And that means that the people, I mean, if you don't like the product anymore, don't buy it anymore. And or if this product is cheaper, you're going to buy that.
Well, I don't know. I feel like I have to qualify now. I'm a capitalist too. I like being a capitalist.
Dean, you will not.
So, oh my God, Dean! Yikes! After all those turkey legs. Oh, I went there, didn't I? Anyway, I'm a capitalist too, but.
I'm listening, James. Even if everybody's laughing.
Even if we can't stop laughing.
Capitalism also has components like antitrust laws and predatory lending laws and other progressive measures that have been put in place over centuries to assure
Bob Chapek, you can't have my money laws.
And we have a Consumer Protection Bureau. I mean, there's a lot of notions in our capitalism that protect people and their money. So it's not un-American to say we want to save our money, even though we're pretty strident capitalists. It's just good sense.
Right.
And the simple fact of the matter is like I said, like you said many times, like we've said, you speak with your feet. All right.
Yeah. Yes. You vote with your feet.
You don't want to pay that $15. Don't pay that $15. If nobody's paying that $50,
and I hope nobody pays it.
Paying that $15. Guess what?
I'm like downscale.
Lines aren't going to be 2 hours long because they're going to keep moving, just like they have been moving for the last year. Because this is the thing, I hate fast passes, and yes, when the fast passes existed, you picked them 60 days ahead of time. I did because of the simple fact that otherwise, or 30. Because of the simple fact that otherwise, I was going to be standing in a line for 2 hours while I was watching people go by me. So at least for 3 rides, I'm going to do that.
But
yes,
it was part of the fun to plan the trip.
It was.
Yes.
There was something to look forward to.
My thought is that
Kelly, you're not a plan. You don't like to plan ahead, right?
No, I don't. That's one of the things that I really did not understand about Disney World when I came there. I was like, are you flipping kidding me? You're making your dining reservation 6 months in advance?
Yes.
That sounds like pure unadulterated, not a vacation.
I love it.
Because I don't know what I'm going to want to eat 6 months from now.
Oh, come on, Kelly. You
I
always
know
like
that. I'm going to want California Grill
always
6
like
months
both,
from
huh?
now.
Thank you. It's like I may not know what I want on that menu, but I am willing to stay at eat at California Grill every night. I don't care.
Right. But
The Brown Derby. I'm going to the Brown Derby, girlfriend.
Absolutely.
Yep.
And Tiffin's.
Yep.
And people
Haven't
complain
been
about the
discussed yet.
park
Can't get my husband
reservations.
convinced to go there.
You were planning which park you were going to be at 6 months in advance.
Yes, ma'am. I was
crying about the reservation.
Yes, I did.
Yeah.
But I didn't have to reserve it. I already had a ticket. I didn't have to.
Didn't have to think about it, James.
I think what people have said, at least up until maybe 4 months ago, from reopening to about 4 months ago, people that went to Walt Disney World said, "Oh my goodness, I love being in the moment. I love deciding what I'm going to ride today, not having to be like, hurry up, kids, because we have a fast pass that I made 60 days ago. I don't care if you have to eat.
I don't think you should.
I don't care if you have to eat.
I don't think
we are riding because
Saddle
I
up.
had it 60
I don't think you should not. I don't think you should knock me like that.
Saddle up.
But
that's
the
right.
thing is that, I mean, Ross, you make a good point. But the thing is I agree with you about because there is no other option. That's the problem with these lightning lane things. I honestly think that a lot of people are saying, "Oh no, these virtual queues will go away." No, Disney will do more virtual queues because Disney does not like you standing in line. You're not spending money in the stores, and you're not spending money at dinner if you're standing in line. So they want more virtual queues, not less. Okay.
Yeah.
So there's going to be a point where the only way you're going to ride Rise of the Resistance is if you pay for that lightning lane, because you're not going to get a boarding pass at 7 a.m. because they have to reserve so many for that for the lightning lane rides.
Good, I'm sleeping in then.
Okay,
And
yeah,
for
well,
people
there's that.
staying
Okay,
at the
you're not going to
Halicon.
be able to ride Ratatouille because the only way you're going to be able to get in that virtual queue is if you pay for it. You're not going to be able to even ride Dwarves because we've got so many people. The standby line. There's still a standby line. Well, eventually there's not going to be a standby line. And a lot of these places, they're going to be eliminating those standby lines.
We're going to try to wrap this up.
Yeah, sorry, we're keeping everybody up.
I'm sorry.
It's an exciting
I like to talk, as all of you know. But the bottom line is I don't think you're going to ride some of these rides. The lightning lane rides, I don't think you're going to ride some of these rides unless you pay for them. And that's what frustrates me.
Hampered by bathing beauties.
No, but Max Pass at Disneyland was fire. It was awesome. It worked so well. You had to be in so I get there right at park opening. You could get 3 Max Passes. As soon as you rode one, then you could get another. There was no ride you could not ride any day at Disneyland. And you could also kind of back that up with the paper fast passes.
That's true.
That's true. It made it the best day ever.
And your pictures, your PhotoPass pictures were included.
Yes,
that's big. That's big.
Kelly, this is the thing that you keep saying about. Oh, I love the Max Pass. I honestly, I forgive me if maybe I'm wrong here, but the one problem with this that people keep saying it's like Max Pass is it's not like Max Pass when it comes to those lightning lane rides.
Yep.
Okay. Those lightning lane rides are not included in they were in Max Pass, maybe.
That's true.
I wish they had made it just like Max Pass because you got, like I said, you got 3. And as soon as one dropped, you could pick up another. And they also still had paper fast passes.
They did.
Yep.
So it was really a great system.
That's the thing. Yeah. Even Chapek said people who have, or even DeMauro said, people who have the Disneyland Max Pass, they love it. And people are going to love this too, just like they have the Max Pass. And I'm like, well, okay, maybe they'll like this Genie Plus, but they're not going to like this lightning lane thing. Yeah. Exactly. They're not going to like this lightning lane thing because the only way you're going to ride it is if you pay for it.
And it's unfortunate.
The only people are going to like that are those people that are spending $10,000 on a once every 5-10 year vacation.
Yeah.
That if you've spent $10,000, what's another 15 per person if you want to ride that ride? But those of us who like to go to Disney a lot and want to ride those rides, or annual pass holders, that's going to stink. So I get that. Yeah. It's for the occasional tourist.
Except the problem. A lot of people that are going only once every 5 years is because they can only afford it once every 5 years.
Right.
Yes,
they have to save up to $10,000.
Amen.
Right.
I agree. I agree.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. I was going to say super quick. Yeah, I completely concur. But yeah, it Max Pass. I mean, Julie and I went in 2017. Our first and only trip. We want to go back out, but our first and only trip to Disneyland and Disney California Adventure, and the Max Pass was phenomenal. The only trouble we had was getting my card attached to the Disneyland app, so I could buy the thing. But once we got that hammered out, it was great.
Well, and I'll have to say, when Jeff and I went in that first day, we had there we were, I hadn't been into Disneyland since I was 13 years old. And here I was on my phone. I walked in the gate and I was on my phone for 20 minutes trying to get everything set up. Yeah. I had a problem.
We had to go to guest services.
Yes.
I don't
in order to get it straightened out.
My nose in my phone the entire time.
And that is a critique of Genie for sure.
Yeah.
Because
everybody's going to be.
It was a great experience.
Yeah. Everybody's going to have their nose in their phone.
Tim.
Was the point that Kelly made was it is 100% geared more towards people who are making occasional trips.
Yeah, it is.
Because I mean, that was a beautiful thing for us. Granted, I think it was a lower traffic day for Disneyland, but we hit everything except for the Matterhorn, all the bigger rides, before lunch.
I love the Matterhorn.
Yeah, I do too.
And so it was a lot of fun. But it's not the same thing, because it's not all the offerings. It's okay, here's some things, but not everything. And so you have to pay the upcharge to get to ride the stuff you really want to do.
I've come to the conclusion that if all of us were appointed to the board of directors, Disney would be like the coolest company ever.
Yes, so Disney, if you're listening.
That's right. We're available, the five of us.
We are. We absolutely are.
Top five.
That's
it.
We
could do it. We could do it.
One of the first things I would do would be to fix Disney's IT, because,
Wow.
Because that's the thing.
William can handle that. William and I can handle that.
I don't want to spend, exactly. I don't want to spend 4.5 out of 5 hours that I'm in a park on my phone, but I certainly don't want to do it with the app spinning and spinning and spinning and spinning and not doing anything.
Yeah. Well, and this Fab Five comes complete with our own council. So we're ready. We're ready. Guys, let's try to wrap this up. Let's go around and everybody kind of, give us your parting thoughts, or your final, have your final say on it, as to how you kind of feel about it and how you're going to proceed. How are you going to proceed? You're going to do it? What? Tina, let's start with you. Tina, what are you going to do? Is Tina? Yeah.
Oh, there she is. Okay.
I am just not answering that question.
I don't know. Like I said, I talked about it with my husband, and I talked about it with the other people in our group. There is a distinct probability that we will at least go to SeaWorld, because we now have a SeaWorld annual. This is how wonderful the SeaWorld annual pass is. We were going to go this past trip in May for 1 day. Okay. I looked on the website to buy tickets. It was $10 more to buy an annual pass for the rest of the year than for a 1 day pass.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's how cheap it was. And we loved it. We looked around and a couple of times we said, Well, SeaWorld is dirtier than Disney, okay? But I said to Chuck, I says, well, you got to understand something. I says, they're just starting to gear up with rehiring. Russ, they hadn't hired you yet, okay? They had, they were just starting to gear up. Not that he cleans, but my point is that they were just starting to gear up with hiring people. They were on skeleton staff. So yeah, trash was on the ground and stuff like that. It wasn't being picked up. And, there were a bunch of other things that we kind of saw. Well, this isn't Disney. But overall, it's a beautiful park. And there's a lot to do. And I would say, yeah, it could easily be a 2-day park. And
we're going to check it out.
We're probably going to spend at least 1 day out of our 8-day trip there, which we probably wouldn't have.
Right.
I don't know, 3 weeks ago.
Okay. Kelly?
I think Disney World for us, I'll speak for myself, will probably be kind of what Tina has said. A few days at Disney, a few days at Universal, maybe try some other parks. I can't imagine probably getting the Genie Plus there, depending on, what annual passes look like when they release those. I think a lot of they release this Genie Plus information without really releasing what annual passes are going to look like and what benefits are going to be there. Yeah. So I think it's kind of got us all like kind of feeling nervous. So, until that's really, but I think Disneyland, heck yeah, the Magic Keys look fantastic. And I think that especially days that you want to get like a lot of pictures or you're really wanting to get a lot of rides in, I think that Genie Plus is fantastic. As far as those lightning rides, I don't see that ever happening. But I do think there's going to be hacks to get around that. There's going to be, get there at park opening and haul cookies
rope drop
over to that, rope drop it, or go late at night, or all those other things that you usually do to ride those rides that have long lines.
As long as they continue.
Right.
Standby lines.
Standbys. Right.
Ride of the Resistance, you'll never ride it if you don't pay for it. Ratatouille, you may never ride it if you don't pay for it.
Right now, those are going to be virtual queues that you can do, like they are now that are included with your admission. But we just, like Tina says, that may be disappearing in the future as well. So I think it works in California. I think Disney in Orlando, there's going to be more parks involved for us.
Yeah.
If I'm correct.
Yeah. James?
Well, Kelly's correct. There are going to be more parks involved for us. But there also, I think, is going to be, I never discount the ability of people to change decisions when they've made a poor one.
Yeah.
And I'm very hopeful that as this sort of shakes out, that those within Disney that appreciate its history and its relevance to families are going to say, well, maybe we've gone too far onto the side of our accountants, and maybe we ought to look to our Imagineering trends and restore some of the things that are so troubling to people. So I'm going to, and for my own part, and I'll say it again, write them, talk to them, voice your concerns about things. You have every right to do so. It's our park, and there are parks. So, but I will always be a Disney fan. I'll grouse, but I'm going.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, I appreciate all y'all's thoughts. As far as mine go, and my closing thoughts in regards to this conversation, I want to say first, whoever decided to name this after the genie, I have a special place for you. I would like to trap you for 10,000 years inside the lake so you can get that special crick in the neck.
Or a crick and other things.
Why? The genie is one of my favorite characters, and I hate that he is the face of this terrible program.
Yeah. Wow, that's true.
I think they did it on purpose because Genie is so beloved.
They did. Yeah. They did.
And he's smiling. He looks so happy. And I tell you what, I wish Robin Williams were here with us still. Because I guarantee he would have something to say about his character being represented in this manner. I love the
like
Genie,
he's gritting his teeth,
and I hate that he is the face of this.
He's choking on a $15 bill.
I kind of wish it was Lightning McQueen, so you could go to like the fast lane.
Yeah,
this was another thing I was finding out on Kelly's show. Can you imagine those poor CMs trying to explain this to people?
Oh my goodness!
Who are saying, what do you mean? I got the Genie. I got the Genie right here. Can't I just go? No. That's Genie Plus. Well, what do you mean? Okay, you pay $15 and it's, everybody ticketed guest, $15 a day per ticketed.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, okay, now I want to ride this. Well,
Sorry.
Well, what do you mean? What do you mean I can't ride it? I've got the Genie Plus. You told me to get the Genie Plus and I paid my $15. What do you mean I can't ride that?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
That's
add to that people coming from other countries, which Disney World is very much part of.
Yeah.
Oh my heaven.
With
that's Kelly. Yeah, that's guys. Yeah, we're not open up to international travel yet. Yeah. Ouch. Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, yeah. There's my concerns are this: Disney, you are supposed to be leading. You're supposed to be leading. You're supposed to be leading the customer experience. You're supposed to offer that next level guest experience.
Yeah.
You're supposed to go the extra mile. You're supposed to bump the lamp. You're supposed to sprinkle that magic pixie dust. That is the Disney way. This program
that is the Walt Disney way.
Yeah. That this program does not coincide with that. I'm disappointed by it. It's an outright money grab. That's all you can call it. I can say that I've been to Disneyland one time and I enjoyed the Max Pass, but this is not the Max Pass. And so I don't know what it's going to look like. It makes me nervous for our trip because have they announced a date that this is rolling out? They just said the fall, right?
I think it'll be the next couple of weeks, though.
I agree.
I think it's going to be pretty soon.
I think they're going to roll it out in September. To be ready for the 50th. So
they can collect all that money from all the people coming in for the 50th.
Right.
I just don't care for this. And also, too, the other thing that frustrates me is it's yet another – we have all these rides that are still being built. And I understand, COVID's impact on construction. But we've got Remy's and they're opening Remy's, but the Guardians coaster, the Tron coaster, the Moana attraction, they're finally going to open Space 220. It wasn't September.
I won't see it now.
Yeah, there are a lot of things that are still in the pipeline, and so for you to expect me to pay even more money on top of what I've already paid, our trip is paid for. Just doesn't sit well for me whenever you were on schedule at one point to have Tron open. And the other thing too that upsets me, a little side note on Tron, they already have the blueprints and they don't have to do any extra filming like they do for Guardians Coaster. They don't have to do the extra tech like for the Guardians Coaster. Mm-hmm. They have the blueprints directly from Shanghai. So there's no thinking to be done. Just get it done. And if I'm in charge, I'm saying get it done, especially if we're rolling out this type of program, because then, you know what? Hey, I want to ride the Tron coaster. I love Tron. You know what? If I had to pony up and pay up to ride Tron, that's what I would do. But I'm not going to do that for Remy. And I've already ridden Rise. The other thing too that I want to mention, I've talked about this briefly to a buddy of mine that has only been to Disney World one time. They just went a couple months ago. And I told him, you went at a really good time because they're about to roll out this really confusing system with an app and all this other stuff. And I got about a minute into trying to describe it to him. And he said, I don't know what you're talking about. He said, you lost me. And this is a guy that's technical. He is a techie at heart. So he's like, what you're trying to explain to me makes no sense. And there's going to be people just like him that are just completely blindsided by all of this.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
So.
And Michelle the quilter says, she feels sorry for the CMs, and all the confusion. And that's absolutely true. We got a PayPal.
Oh, my word.
Tina, thank you for the PayPal. Absolutely did not have to do that, but that was very kind of you. Thank you. So thank you for ponying up. And
that was tongue in cheek. That will go to our Genie Plus fund because Lord knows we're going to need it.
That's awesome.
Tina, that money will go into the kitty. We're going to have it, girlfriend. We may have to. We're going to be doubling up with you in your DVC villas.
Yeah. So. And a good point there too, Russ. I don't want to spend all day on my phone.
Yeah.
That's not at all.
That's a key piece. Because in the demo there's a 14-minute video for those who are out there who hadn't watched it yet. There's a demo and it shows like there's a lot of different factors. And the other thing too is it just looks like a lot of noise. Like I know how I want to spend my day. I don't want all these suggestions. And so I'm worried
for
about
us,
this.
That's
Again, I think it's for those occasional travelers, those tourists.
I think you're right.
I think it's completely geared towards that guest.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. I think you're right. Those that aren't as well acquainted with the parks, I think to a degree, there are aspects that could be helpful in terms of making suggestions. If you're hungry, you don't know the park well, that's the other thing too, is people, we're all in the know. All of us are in the know.
Right.
Not everybody's like that.
But wasn't my Disney experience supposed to be like that?
Yeah.
Wasn't my Disney experience supposed
that's
to be?
True.
You can find out what the wait times are. You can plan your trip.
That's true. That's true. Yeah, that's true.
Now, there were some neat analytics that they showed in the demo in terms of like what you could expect in terms of crowd levels. The other thing I wanted to mention just super quick, I know we're really late, is I don't think that this Genie Plus program incentivizes CMs pumping people through the lines and keeping wait times low. Because if wait times are low, nobody's paying for Genie Plus.
No.
Not unless you're buying the Lightning Lane. So
that's a good point.
It will be interesting to see what the park goer, the guests' behavior looks like once this goes live.
Yes, and what the lines look like, and exactly how it's received. I think Kelly is right, and that part of the key to this is what they do for APs. That's
huge.
A lot of us. That's huge. For us, I will say I was looking really hard, and I've mentioned this to Tina. I've talked with Tina, Kelly. I've mentioned it to you. We were looking really hard at buying DVC.
Yeah. And
now we're going to hold off on that until we see what happens with all this.
It includes so many wonderful things that really made it special and valuable. I get why there would be a hesitation now because all those perks are just not there.
Yeah.
You can't even buy an annual pass now if you're a DVC member right away. You have to get on a or wait for the new data.
Yeah.
So we're going to wait.
I mean, our first trip, we bought back in 2012, and I mean I gotta say the what do you call it? The guide was very upfront. He said perks are perks. He says that none of it is guaranteed, but these are the perks, okay? And he gave a list, and I distinctly remember one of the things was valet parking. Now we never have a car. We fly in, we never rent a car. But the first time we went on points, we brought another couple with us as our guests. We do that a lot. I think we've only had one, maybe two trips that we didn't bring guests with us. I don't know. We like friends. Anyway, but the thing is we brought these guests.
I'll be your friend.
And they rented a car, okay? And I said, Charlie, don't worry about it. I said, one of the perks of being DVC is you get valet parking.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So we drove up to the gate and we drove up to the arch over the Animal Kingdom Lodge, a porta-chair or whatever you call it. And, we got out of the car and started, got the what's it called to come and get your luggage and everything.
Yeah. the bellhop.
Concierge.
Yeah, the bellhop,
Yeah,
and he went and
concierge.
took our luggage, and we just, Charlie started to hand his key and the guy's like, "What are you doing?" And he said, "We're staying DVC on points," and they looked at him like,
No. Right.
So I went right away. I went into the desk, the DVC desk, where we first went in order to say we'd like to look into DVC. And he says, "Yeah, that's not available anymore." Our first trip that was, exactly downscale, gone. All right. Our first trip, that was our first taste of how Disney, now you might have paid for that.
Backing off.
You had it, but you don't got it no more. Oh, you might have thought you had that, but you don't got it no more. Oh, you might have thought you had that, but nope, not anymore.
Yeah. That was strike number one. So, again, everything James Ron said tonight, and then those final, your final statement
you're
there,
really
James.
making his head this big. I think it would be impossible to live with.
Oh, get used to it, darling.
Well, I really hope that Chapek will reverse course on this, and that the people around him are going to say, we are getting so hammered on this, we're going to have to back off. We're going to have to do something different. I really do. I hope that Disney that's one of the things that they've always been really good at, guys, is listening to guests. That the last time we were there was a CM outside Disney Springs holding a tablet and, said, would you mind, just a couple of quick questions. And it all had to do with customer experience. So listen to your guests, Disney. Think about your first priority. Think about Walt's first priority and Joe Rohde and so many of the Imagineers. They understand that the guest comes first. If you have a great experience, you keep the parks as clean as you can, you treat people like guests and not just numbers, the money's going to come. Yep. That's why the money has come. It's because Disney is not Six Flags. Okay. Yep. It's not.
No.
So,
but it is fast becoming Six Flags.
Well, and
twice the price.
Question.
So that's Amy, let's see.
Russ, same boat. And Amy raises a great point too.
Yep.
Wondering if I just renewed my platinum pass, am I now going to lose the current benefits I just paid for on my pass for the new
I'm right there with you, Amy. I do not know what's going to happen to us. I renewed very recently.
I'm hoping that when they release the AP holders currently are grandfathered, but
hopefully,
I don't know. I keep remembering that valet parking.
Well, and I'm remembering that my spring rolls went up before I even was able to buy any. So
I'm holding my breath to see what these prices are going to look like whenever they announce that annual passes. Because it's something Julie and I have wanted to do for a long time.
Us too. Well, me too.
And you too, Mom, of course. Something we've wanted to do for a long time, and
so true. That's so true.
I'm just Russ, it makes a great point. To be upset that you to finally have the chance to buy an AP. You move down there. You've been holding on to that money in hopes of getting an AP.
Yeah.
And for them to, what's the line? I had a good line that we had talked about.
As you get older, Will, that happens more and more.
Yeah. But anyway,
you are just almost to 30. So
I know. Just a matter of months away. But yeah, it's oh my goodness. Yeah, that should not happen. You should not. As long as you've anxiously been awaiting being an annual pass holder. And for them to drop this news and make you not excited about the possibility of being an annual pass holder, that shouldn't happen.
Right.
It shouldn't.
I agree. Okay, let's try to wrap it up.
We're gonna wrap this thing up. Sorry, We've got y'all
I'm
kept up
sorry
till
we've
tomorrow.
gone so long, guys, but it has been a great conversation. It's difficult to leave good company. So, you know, but Kelly, tell us what you've got coming up on your channel.
Tomorrow, Disneyland annual passes go up for sale, those magic keys. So Sunday night, I'm going to have all my Disneylander friends on to talk about how those Disneyland magic keys sales went. And we're going to talk a little bit about the Genie Plus working at Disneyland and just, you know, talk everything Disneyland. So a Disneylander's Guide is going to be Sunday night at 9 p.m. Friday, I have brunch with a bunch. I'm going to talk about my very favorite subscription boxes that I get.
Nice.
So, the ones that I think are definitely worth the money.
Yes. Nice. Sounds good. And we have up on the last video that I put up on the channel is a review, actually, off property of Orlando Breeze Resort. It's one that we've stayed at a couple times. It's one of our timeshares. Kylie and I stayed there this last time we were there. Really enjoyed it. If you're thinking about planning a trip, it could be, you know, a really good option. So check that out. We've got all kinds of. Good night, Russ. Thanks so much.
Thanks for being here.
You're going to go to work
Thanks.
tomorrow.
We appreciate it. We appreciate
Russ
it.
and Bob Chupek.
Yeah.
and you know what? Discovery Cove. That's another thing. I want so much to do.
Oh,
Discovery
absolutely.
Cove.
Absolutely. We're going to check out. We're absolutely going to check out Discovery Cove. So, William, you want to wrap it up there, buddy?
Yeah. So try to close this thing out here. Let's be sure to check out our partner channel. They've been in the chat tonight. Monarch Moments, and check out these wonderful channels featured here on screen as well. You've got Kelly and the Mickey Bunch. You've got Tina DCS of T. Maurice Place, part of the T Squared. I love the Terminator intro music for the T Squared show. It's fantastic. So love y'all's intro sequence. Yeah. And so. But yeah, check out our partner channel, Monarch Ornaments. Michelle and Hannah, Gabe, and of course Garrett, the man behind the curtain. But yeah, lots of wonderful channels represented in the chat. I want to thank everybody for the humor tonight, based in the conversation. I know this is a frustrating thing to talk about. It's not just a lot of fun to talk about another way of being nickeled and dimed, but you know, some good conversation about, you know, the few positive aspects about this, potentially. But I want to give a shout out to Dean of Dreamers Empire, Dean's YouTube channel. Also, he maintains the liveplace.com. It's a TV guide for family-friendly content and live streams. Also, check out TubeBuddy if you're a creator. It's helpful. It gives you trends, suggested keywords, things to help you grow your channel. Data and some analytics to help you grow your channel. Use the link below. We both get a free month. There is a free version if you want to check that out as well. Also, check out Stickermule if you want buttons or pins or stickers related to your channel or anything else you might want them for. Use our affiliate link in the description below. We both get a $10 credit for a future order, and shout out to those that have used that affiliate link. So. But I want to give a shout out to everybody that's been in the chat tonight. I've been trying to get everybody. It's going to take a little bit, so everybody strap in. This is the, I guess, the Will Plus version of the roll call. But I want to thank Aunt Susan and Aunt Joy. I want to thank Jillian, Kylie, and other family members for supporting the channel. I want to give a shout out to Francisco, Adventures by D, the Turkey Legster, James Ryan, also joined us on screen here. Thank you, James, for being here. Debbie Bernfeld, Alex Kennett, Downscale, Mike Wheeler, Ford Man, a.k.a. Kenneth Oaks, Is Our Dream, More Sunshine Please, Kelly the Mickey Bunch, also joined us here on screen. Wonderful Pirate Red, always appreciate her company. Candy Tink 94, AJC Magic TV, Michelle the Quilter, Tina DCS, again, joined us on screen here tonight. Thank you for being here with us, Tina. Smashing the Crab, Captain Akron 27, Monarch Moments, JN Travels, Space Mountain Dave Cantrell, nice. Paul Vines, Vipree Project, Mouse Talk, Dad Builds, Elena K808, Dreamer Deborah, Bob Chupek, also known as Walk the World with Russ, Car King, Rob Buzz, Jonathan Sean, Mike Klimovich, Wonderful World of Walter's Dad Mark, and Team Marie's Place. And if I missed you, I apologize. But hopefully you'll join us again next week.
What a nice chat group.
Yeah, what?
Yeah.
That's great.
All the cool kids were here
That's
tonight.
great.
Oh, yeah. For sure. So
It's been a great show.
We appreciate
really
it.
Has.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you very much for inviting me.
Thanks so much. I know we ran long. Again, it's hard to leave good company. Yeah. If anybody in the chat or on the replay, if you're watching on the replay, thanks so much. We love our team replay.
Anybody watching in ghost mode?
Watching in ghost mode and not chatting, thanks so much for being here. If you have any questions, by all means, send us an email, thehitchhikingbones@gmail.com. Put something in the comments. Send us a DM on Instagram, something like that, and we'll if we don't know the answer, we know people who do. I.e. Kelly, we've got a lot of resources, so we can, we'll help you if you can. Thanks, guys,
phenomenal
so much for being here. Pardon?
Itty live in space.
Exactly. Excuse me, goodness. And Tina, thanks for the super chat. We love you.
Thank you.
That was very sweet.
We appreciate your contribution.
We do appreciate your contribution. We're going to need it. But again, thanks for being here, guys. All of our ghost hosts, Mike Wheeler, thanks so much, guys, for being in tonight. And we loved it. We enjoyed it. We're going to be talking more about this, obviously, in the months to come, watching it to see how it's implemented. And so stay tuned, folks.
Absolutely.
Stay tuned. Thanks again, guys. Thanks so much, Tina, Kelly, and James. We love you guys. We appreciate you hanging in there with us. At the Hitchhiking Bones, there's always room for one more. So hurry back. Thanks so much,
guys.
Have
a great week, everybody. Thanks for being here.
Bye-bye.